Good day, welcome to the lecture series, Learn Unreal Engine 5.7.2 for Beginners. This video shows you how to create a landscape in Unreal Engine.
Hello, good day. So in this video, I'll show you how to make a landscape. So go to here, select landscape. So this is Unreal Engine 5.7.2. So all you need to do is that when we're in landscape mode, we could change the selection size, but I'll work with the default 63 by 63 quad. So I'll work with this, press create. So we have a landscape here. So the first thing we'll do is sculpt. That's where we adjust the landscape. So you click here, this is the tab here, we're in sculpt. Now we will choose the brush. We're using the default brush, this by this, and sculpt. So you bring it up, you left click, bring it up. Just left click, you can just hold on left click. It will go up. Or you can just move that around. Hold on left click. We can change the different brush types. After we have applied a brush, if you don't like the brush, we can do two things. We can smoothen it or we can erase it. So watch how we smoothen it. Smoothen it. Carry it down a bit. Carry it down a bit. Carry things down a bit. Or we can completely erase it. Completely erase the work that was previously done. You can flatten. Now how flatten works is that it takes, you press here, it starts at this point, and then as you drag the brush across, everything will be at that elevation. So let's try it. See? So let's start at this point and drag it. You see, everything have a flat surface and at the same elevation that we previously started from. You can build a ramp, and as its name implies, it is a ramp. So I'm going to go in like this. First point, second point, bring this up, click, add a ramp. So this ramp is kind of wide. Let's escape. Let's make another ramp. Carry down your width. Let's reset default value to 2000. So first point, second point, carry this up, add a ramp. See, that's the ramp. You can add some erosion. The erosion is almost just like smooth, but it puts in some noise. See, you're carrying on. More natural, which is smooth with some noise. We can try smooth button. We can sculpt again. Just left click and drag the mouse across. Just want to make this uneven. The reason why I'm doing this because I want to show you the noise. So after we do this, we go to noise. I can make things look more random. You can go back to sculpt and we can change the brush. So let me zoom in here. Brush, so it's relatively rough when you apply this. So the goal here is to make it rough. So we could just take this brush and drag it across and make the surface rough. and after we could just apply some noise. So we don't want it to make look very uniform. We want it to look relatively more natural. And you can tweak the landscape however you want, but generally speaking, that's how to create a landscape. So another major thing you need to know about a landscape is how to paint the landscape. Painting in the sense of, like, let's say you want to give the landscape some color. So you can do this, but first, before we start to paint the landscape, we can apply a material or we can create a material. So what I'll show you first is if we apply a material that's already created. So I'm going to the starter content, go to the materials, and I will just choose this material here, this ground grass material, and I will have landscape selected. I'll go to the material and press this, and this will apply the grass. If I want to change the material, press this. This is the material source. Let's say I want to apply a sand. See, we now have a sand. Let's say you want to apply another material. Let's say you want to apply something more like rocks. Let's render in. Paint shaders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Taking some time. So that's the rock surface. That's looking like this. Let's say we want to apply another texture. Let's try this. So you see how we can apply a material to the landscape. So I'll go back to the grass material. This is the most grass. Alright, I'll go for this. I'll go back to this material. Change this a bit. And now I'll create a material such that I will have the landscape in 2 different colors. Well, yes, 2 different colors, but 2 different type of, let's say, textures. In the sense, I want to make part of the mountain range look like it have grass, and part of the mountain look like it have, let's say, sand or some other material. So to do that, I need to create a material, and I already have a material created, but I'll create a material from scratch. So right click, material, call this material grass and sand. Alright, so we're going to apply 2 materials, but we can apply more than 2 materials. So this is the material here, grass and sand. So what we will do, we will create a material, and we will take 2 materials and put it in this. So level, type in landscape layer blend. So we click this. So what we'll be doing is that we'll be applying the landscape layer blend. I'll press Ctrl D, and we'll be applying it to these 3 areas. So this, the base color, the roughness, and to the normal. So when you go here, click this, add 1, 2, 3, and I click 3 because we'll be adding 3 different materials. So the first one, grass. Second one, so I've just selected. Go down. Second material, we call this, let's say, gravel. see the layer name is now layer gravel. And then the third one called the sand. So you'll be plugging in the materials in these three areas there. 1, 2, 3. So what I'll do, I'll do this, delete this, Control D, Control D to duplicate. Send this in roughness, send this in normal. So what I'll be doing, I'll be taking the information and send some information here, send some information here, and send some information here. So the first material you want to deal with is the grass. I will choose this grass material here. And all I will do, I will highlight everything, and press Ctrl A, and press Ctrl C, and go back to this material here. I'll come over here, press Ctrl V. So I just move everything. First thing we'll plug in will be the grass. I'm going to stop layer. And I'm going to go here. If you look at this thread will be going into the roughness. This is the roughness. And this will be going into the normal. So how we did this for grass, we need to do this for the other different materials you want to apply. So next, select another material. Let's find the gravel. I'll use this one stone, the pebble stone, although this is not gravel, but I want to use this instead. So what I'll do, Control A, Control C, grass sand, Control V. I know the gravel has to go here. Just gonna go back. I know that's got specular and roughness, so what I'll do, right click and duplicate. I think this has to go here. Roughness, bring this down. And the last one is normal. Last one is normal. You know what? Since it's so much work to create a material, I'll just create two materials. This will take a lot of time to create three. So this material will just have the two materials. So that'll be gravel and grass. Let's apply. This is supposed to work. Let's save. Yes, I have to save. Can save this layer. New folder. Levels. Save. All saved. Alright, so come back to the content draw. So I'm going to minimize this. And we need to find the material we just created. Material is grass and sand. So I have the material selected and apply the material. So we see this has turned black, but that's okay. We'll deal with that. You need to come here. So this is Unreal Engine 5.7.2. It's slightly different from Unreal Engine 5.6. So make sure that you're in landscape mode. Then when you come to layers, so you have the target layer, below target layers, come to here in layers, and click this. Call this grass. So this is supposed to be the names that you have in the material that you created here. And then you create another one. Call this gravel. Click this. I'm going to save this in the levels. Save. Double click. Click weighted blending. We're going to save. Make sure you save. Save. Because Unreal Engine have a tendency of crashing. Close. Minimize this. Click this. Go back in the same area and save. Double click this. Choose this blending. Save. Close off this. Save. Minimize now. And now we have the paintbrush selected. So I have this paint tab selected. Click here. Well, we choose this texture here. And now let's paint. See, it's painting the grass. It's painting green. Let's paint some gravel. See, like this. Now let's paint. So this is slightly different from Unreal Engine 5.6. Personally, I find it was relatively easier to do in 5.6, but I mean, it could still be done in 5.7.2. So that's how to paint the landscape. Let's just finish paint up the landscape. Let's make the brush bigger. I made the brush bigger because there's a lot of work to paint the whole landscape with that small brush. Everything is selected, everything is painted. Yes, I believe we cover everything. Now let's just change this to the gravel. Change the brush size. Just add some random colors, different locations. Of course, you could adjust the brush fall off. I mean, that's just different things you can adjust, but it all depends on you and how you want to edit this. So I'll bring the video to an end here. Thank you.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's lecture. Do you want to know more? Like and subscribe. You can also contact us, Impulse Response Enterprises Ltd.